What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Monday, June 22nd, 2026, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 17:23 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. I wanted to update you guys on the situation with Iran and also other breaking news from around the world. So, Iran's Central Military Command has announced the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. I'm going to read to you the statement that they put out. Now, Trump is saying that the Strait of Hormuz has been open and that oil is flowing through it. So, he is contradicting what Iran says. And also today, the U.S. Treasury suspended all sanctions on Iran's oil. Okay, so a lot of contradictory information. We also had J.D. Vance, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner arrive in Switzerland yesterday for talks with Pakistani and Qatari mediators, but they did not meet with the Iranians in Switzerland. So J.D. Vance was saying that this was a huge success, that the negotiations are back on track, blah, 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 bunch of nonsense, okay? So basically, Iran has withdrawn from negotiations because Israel was heavily striking Lebanon over the last few days, and specifically they struck one of the suburbs of Beirut, which Iran said was one of their red lines, that if Israel struck Beirut, then they would directly attack Israel and pull out of negotiations with the U.S. So this is a big deal. But I want to read to you what Iran said about closing the Strait of Hormuz. They put out a statement yesterday. They said, considering the blatant breach and violation by the U.S. of the first clause of the ceasefire agreement, and in response to the continuous and relentless violation of the ceasefire by the Israeli regime in southern Lebanon, and the ruthless killing and displacement of hundreds of thousands of oppressed people of Lebanon, as well as the failure of the Israeli occupying forces to withdraw from southern Lebanon, we declare that the Strait of Hormuz will be closed to vessel traffic. This is the first step in response to the enemy's breach of promise, and if the aggression continues, further steps will be planned and taken to compel the enemy to fulfill its commitments. Okay, so that's the statement from Iran. They have closed the Strait of Hormuz, regardless of what Trump is saying. He's BSing you, okay? And yesterday we heard that U.S.-Iran talks in Switzerland ended early, with Iran withdrawing after Trump's Truth Social posts, according to Tasnim News. And Trump posted on Truth Social that Iran must immediately stop their highly paid proxies in Lebanon from causing trouble. If they don't, we'll hit Iran very hard again, just like we did last week, only harder. Okay, so that's what Trump posted Sunday morning. And after that, the Iranians pulled out of the negotiations in Switzerland, okay, because they were already not happy with the situation with Lebanon. And then after Trump makes those threats, they completely pulled out of the negotiations in Switzerland. And Iran's Fars News said Trump's threat stopped the Switzerland negotiations and put their continuation in a state of uncertainty. Okay, so the U.S. is now basically begging Iran under the Trump administration to go back to peace talks. Okay. And the Israeli defense minister released a statement today. Israel Katz, he said the IDF, that's the Israeli military, has full freedom of action to operate decisively against any threat. Our soldiers will continue to thwart threats and destroy terrorist infrastructure in the area. So he's referring to Lebanon. He's basically confirming that Israel will continue to strike Lebanon or even Iran as needed. Okay, and I want to just play this statement here. Well, it's actually in Hebrew, but this is Netanyahu Okay, and I want to read to you what he said. I'm going to translate it. He put out a statement. He said, "The directive from me and the defense minister to the IDF is clear and has not changed. Our forces in southern Lebanon have full freedom of action to thwart any direct or emerging threat against them or against the residents of the north. The IDF faces no restrictions in this regard. I stand behind them, and the entire nation stands behind them. I remain firm in my position that we will stay in the security zone in southern Lebanon for as long as necessary in order to protect the residents of the north and all citizens of the state of Israel." Okay, so Netanyahu is not backing down regardless of, the pressure from the Trump administration, okay? And here's another Truth Social post from Trump that the Iranians didn't like. He wrote, "There will be no tolls in the Hormuz Strait for the 60 days during the ceasefire period, and there will be no tolls after the 60-day period has expired, unless they are imposed by and for the U.S. Should the deal not be completed for services rendered as the guardian angel of the countries of the Middle East for purposes of both past blah, 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 blah." Okay, so 60 days, he's saying that they will try to negotiate with Iran, all right, during this 60-day period. And how convenient, right? 60-day ceasefire covers the entire summer. So what Trump is doing here is he's trying to open the Strait of Hormuz during the critical summer travel season so people can actually have a fun summer and the economy can get spurred from the summer travel season, because summer travel makes a huge impact on the U.S. economy. So that's why he's doing this, guys. This 60-day ceasefire, it's all about trying to spur the economy up, but it's not going to do anything, guys. Okay, we're going to be going back to war with Iran, I guarantee you, before the end of the summer. Okay, it's just a matter of time. And last night we had a U.S. nuclear war command and control plane active off the U.S. East Coast, and it was transmitting nuclear codes, and we had a lot of nuclear codes over the weekend as well. And the Trump administration has demanded a partial Israeli withdrawal from southern Lebanon, according to Israeli Channel 11. And Qatari and Pakistani mediators asked Trump to write a conciliatory tweet to help get negotiations back on track with Iran after his recent threats. Interesting. And Trump said everybody is fully aware that Iran will agree to have major weapons inspections in order to ensure nuclear honesty long into the future. So Trump is saying that they're going to have to allow inspections as part of this agreement, but Iran said they're not allowing inspections. So there's another sticking point there. And an informed Iranian source told Fars News that claims by Vance about IAEA inspectors returning to Iran are false. The source added that the Switzerland talks included no discussion of allowing inspectors back into the country, okay? And what you're looking at here is a picture of an explosion that occurred over the weekend at the largest liquid natural gas production facility in Qatar, okay? The world's largest LNG facility, okay? Some random explosion. We're hearing that 18 people are missing and 54 injured. Okay, so the Qatari government is saying it was a technical accident, but I really don't believe that. And an Israeli official confirmed that America is exerting pressure on Israel to withdraw from southern Lebanon. And the Russian Defense Ministry said they shot down more than 300 Ukrainian drones overnight last night, and Ukraine hit some facilities in Crimea with drones over the weekend, some pretty important facilities there. And Taiwan announced a 5-day immediate combat readiness drill exercise to start today. Taiwan will also launch a 1-week joint defense exercise to start Monday, July 13th. So they're doing snap 5-day military drills starting today. Absolutely insane. And Trump will meet with Pentagon leaders and major defense contractors this week to push for faster production of missiles and munitions as U.S. stockpiles have been strained by the conflict with Iran. And right-wing and pro-U.S. presidential candidate in Colombia, Abelardo Esperella, won the Colombian presidential elections. And the Colombian president now, Gustavo Petro, said he did not recognize the results and accused Israel of compromising Colombia's election software. Totally insane. And I want to read to you a statement from Colombia's president-elect. He sounded like very Western oriented here. He said, "To our international allies, I say Colombia is once again a firm, reliable, and respectable democracy. We will once again take our place among the free nations. We will strengthen our relations with all countries that respect democracy. We will have no relations with countries that do not respect freedom and the rule of law. We will be a serious partner, a loyal ally, and a firm voice in the defense of freedom across the continent." Wow. So this is huge, guys, because Colombia was kind of like a socialist country, very friendly to the cartels. You know, there's a lot of cartels down there. So this is going to completely change the dynamic in South America by having a Western-friendly president in Colombia. This is huge news. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be back later on tonight with a live update, probably like around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern time. And until then, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP Shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP Shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP Shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video.